Hi guys, I'm going to talk to you about my art-based research project that we did in Miss Broman's class this past week. I really liked the experience. I had never heard of anything like it before, and I feel like this will be something that once I'm 3 years down the line, I'll always remember this rather than just like a final test. I feel like this is something that I got a lot out of and that I will continue to think back on when I think about this experience and um, who I want to be as an educator. So, the first portion I am going to talk about are the three areas that Miss Broman had us circle on our um, thing after we put down all after we cut up all of our reflections and everything and put them down, and then the three big parts that we went back to and circled. We chose those as a reason. um, I kind of chose things based on like what I what I want to remember as a teacher as I continue, and then like what I was thinking while I was preparing lessons and while I was teaching the students that I tutored this semester. So the first one is this piece right here, and it was one of my responses to a discussion board, and it talks about motivation and how you have to really know your students to motivate them, and how you need to create relevance right away, relevance to something that they want to do, or relevance you need to read, that way you can do this. I think that's huge whenever kids are struggling with reading, or if they just get into a rut where they just don't find reading fun anymore. I think it's always good to motivate them. And as on campus students, we got to see this firsthand with Ethan, and um, I just thought it was really cool. And it kind of put in my head, like I need to have. I looked at my three tutoring kids, and I had two kids that love to be active and love to play games. So I made games based on them to move around and wiggle, and they learn so much more. And I just think that that's crazy how much of an impact their motivation can change by things that they're interested in. And I feel like that could have helped so many students, like, and whenever I was growing up, like, if you could just create motivation within them, then they could be, everyone is capable of being a reader. They just need motivation to get them there. Another aspect that I circled was creating a classroom that nurtures literacy and integrates choices and collaboration within literacy. And this is also a discussion post that I responded to. And I just, whenever I was creating all my lessons this semester and working with my students, I always remembered that, like nurture literature and bring it into every subject, as well as let them have choices and let them play with their friends and do activities with their friends. Don't make them just do individual work the whole time. And that's something I want to continue to do as I move forward to becoming a teacher. The next thing that I circled down here were all the questions, like the top questions in our reflections. Like this one is like, overall, how did the instructional strategies for the lesson positively impact your learning of your students, and how do you know if students met your objective? So I did all of these questions that were highlighted in black on our reflections, because while I was creating my lessons, I thought back to these, and I just found them so important. And these reflection questions made me dig deep inside and think about how I was performing as a teacher. And I think that that's so important, is to continue to reflect on yourself, no matter how long that you've ever been a teacher. And I just want to continue to do that. And I just really like these questions because I feel like they promote like higher level thinking for us. Like we always talk about how we need to do higher level inquiry for our students, higher level questions. I feel like these are higher level questions for teachers rather than like the cycle reflection that we were doing in the past. So I really enjoyed just focusing in on that, and that was something that when I was cutting through my reflections, I always went back to those questions. It was like, oh, those questions are so important, and they influenced my lesson plans and objectives so much while I was creating them. And then Miss Bowman had us pick or do this squirrely thing, which mine looks terrible. But I remember a couple weeks ago when Miss Berman was talking to us about her student that passed away, and how there's so many politics that come in with education, and how you just need to shut the door to your classroom and get to work once you're a teacher. And I think that that's so important. So whenever she had us write down stuff on a blank piece of paper, I wrote that down, and then I did a little squirrely over it, because no matter what's happening inside your school building, or inside Kansas education, what's important is your students and their learning, and what they have to deal with and face on a daily basis. And it's just really important to go in to your classroom and just focus solidly on them. And so I did that while I was tutoring, and I want to continue to do that as I further my education career. And then we had to write a word on here, and my word was achieve. This semester, when I started this class, I was really nervous about this class, because I thought, I just want to get through it all, but I really wanted to achieve greatness, and I wanted to learn more about myself as a professional educator, and I did just that. And then whenever I was tutoring, I wanted my students to achieve. I wanted them to complete my objectives and learn and better themselves, and I think that they, by looking from the post-test, they definitely excelled in areas that I worked with them on, so that was really cool to see. But otherwise, I really enjoyed this art-based research project. I've been telling people about it ever since we've done it, but it was great. Thank you.